True, yeah.
It is very true. Okay, so good night, Shabbos, everyone. Okay, so we're in Likutey halachos, Baruch Hashem, we have a schus. We're in Birchos Ha'shachar, Halacha Hey, and we left off last week with Chaf Aleph. Right, we ran out of it's a new booklet we have, Baruch Hashem, this week, and let's see how far we can get. So, here we go, let's take it away. Right, so we were discussing that last week. Do you remember? That the whole geula of Mitzrayim was dependent on Shabbos for many reasons. We say on Shabbos, we say Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelkai in the Musaf on Shabbos, right? Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelkai. In Shachar, so we say Shachar. Yeah. So what is it Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelkai? What was the chelik of Moshe Rabbeinu? What's he so happy with? The fact that Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that chose the day to get the day of rest for Klal Yisrael in Mitzrayim. He chose Shabbos. What happened? Moshe Rabbeinu approached Pari and he said to Pari, look, you have these servants, you have your slaves in Mitzrayim, and you know that a slave has to have a day off. If a slave doesn't have a day off, they're just going to be overworked and they're going to wind up dying. So what will you have? So Pari said, you know something, that's good. What day do you suggest? So he suggested the seventh day, which is Shabbos. So Pari gave it to them. Now we know that on the day of Shabbos, the Yidden would sit down and they had their different teachings that were passed down from Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever, from Avraham, right? All that were passed down to Yaakov Avinu, to the Shiftei Ka, and so on. And that they had these things, that they knew that they were going to go into Mitzrayim, and they knew that that Hashem would redeem them, and we would be mechazik our emunah each Shabbos that we were going to get out of Mitzrayim, because that was our day off. So with the schus of Shabbos, and that's what Moshe Rabbeinu we say, Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelkai, because Moshe Rabbeinu was so happy that was his chelik. Hashem then told him, taught Moshe Rabbeinu about Shabbos was, but Moshe Rabbeinu perceived what Shabbos was before he was commanded to us, and that was Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelkai. Okay, that's one shot. Anyway, now. Ba'al kein kairin Shabbos lifnei haPesach Shabbos Hagadol, and that's why the Shabbos before Pesach we know is Shabbos Hagadol. All the Shabbosim have regular names, right? We have Shabbos Mevorchim, right? We have Shabbos Tshuva, and Shabbos Hagadol, right? We have different, right? Shabbos Hagadol. So why is it called Shabbos Hagadol? So it says Kinal Ba'is Tezvav, okay? Hainu Kinal. Ki Ikar Hagula Ayidei Bechinas Metzach HaRotzen Shemeya B'Shabbos. Because again, we're tapping into that idea of the Metzach HaRotzen, which is Rotzen is the time of Rava de Rava. Let's review, and that's the time that we have that we're familiar with, which is Shalosh Shudas on Shabbos, which is the most special time because the Shabbos is about to leave, and then the HaKadosh Baruch Hu finds the most endearment to Klal Yisrael at that time, and we could tap in. We could tap in at that time to the courthouses. There are different there are Chav Daled Batei Dinim in Shemayim, and each courthouse mitigates different, prosecutes on different things. But we can go tap into the highest courthouse, which is the place of Metzach HaRotzen. At that place, we can mitigate all the different judgments from all the other courthouses. So anytime we have any troubles in our lives, anything going on, to be mechaven and speak to the Rebbeinu Shlem, it's specifically at the time of Shalosh Shudas on Shabbos was the most auspicious time of the entire week. If you have any problems, because that time we're most close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, specifically at that time. So speak out in your own words to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, hisbodidot, you talk to Hashem, tell him whatever problems you have, whatever salvations you need, and you're most likely to get you Yeshua at that time, because we're tapping in to the Metzach HaRotzen, which we get at that time there. Okay, now that's why Shabbos Hagadol, it's called Shabbos Hagadol, because we were able to tap in. We weren't zeicha yet to it, but Hashem tapped in to this Metzach HaRotzen on that Shabbos before Yetzias Mitzrayim, and that's what gave us the ability to be able to leave Mitzrayim, because we were able to mitigate all the judgments from all the courthouses by going to the Metzach HaRotzen. Now, Shniyos shel sa'ar heim oisei Shabbos. Okay, so we look at the word sa'ar, right? Shin, sin, right? And then the aleph is the beis. You move over to a beis, and it's reish, right? And then taf. So if you move over, you're following letters, you move over the letter, so then you have the word Shabbos. That's a beautiful idea. So then you could take out the sa'ar from the isa. What's the sa'ar? Is the yeast, right? The yeast is what makes it rise. What's the sa'ar shabisa? The yeast in the. So you remove that, and then you take out the teva, which is removing the teva from the matzah, from the dough, which turns it into matzah, and that's how you're able to do it. So that's why Shabbos has it. V'lo yira lecha sa'ar. And the Torah tells us you shouldn't even see. V'lo yira lecha sa'ar. You can't see the sa'ar. Kika bitul chametz u'sa'ar u'al yedei b'chinas Shabbos she'oz mizgala ravad deravin. Because on the Shabbos, Hashem taught us about this Ravid the Ravin. Vika b'Shabbos b'mincha, and specifically that time of mincha on Shabbos. Shoaz nistalku Moshe, Yosef, and David. Because that's the time that the three great tzaddikim, Moshe Rabbeinu, Yosef Tzaddik, and David HaMelech, left the world at that time. Specifically because they knew this secret. They knew the secret of Ravid the Ravin. They understood it and they were tapped into it. That's why those three tzaddikim left the world at that time, because they knew the secret, and they knew if they would leave the world at that time, then any judgments they would have would be mitigated when they get to Shemayim. It's unbelievable what tzaddikim, how tapped in they are to it.
Because of Shabbos be mitigated because of that.
Because when you on Shabbos, specifically at the time of Mincha, which is the Metzach HaRotza, which is the time that we can go into Shemayim, to the highest courthouse, to be able to mitigate the judgments of the 24 lower courthouses.
Okay.
Kol gulas, and we said that through Moshe, Yosef, and David is all the gulas, right? We know Moshe Rabbeinu took us out of Mitzrayim. Yosef HaTzadik, we know the Mashiach ben Yosef and the Mashiach ben David, right? But we got out of Mitzrayim. We learned last week that we got out of Mitzrayim via Moshe and Yosef, because the Vayam Ra Vayanos, what did they see? Atzmas Yosef. In other words, how did we get out of the mess when the Mitzrayim were chasing after us? Because Moshe Rabbeinu was Isaac in finding the Atzmas Yosef, and he brought it, and it was right in front of the Yam, leading the Jewish people. The Yam saw it, the Yam split because of the kedusha of the Kayach of the Aron of Yosef HaTzadik. So with the Kayach of Moshe and Yosef, we were able to leave Mitzrayim. With the Kayach of Moshe and Yosef, that was the Geula that led us out of the land of Mitzrayim. Rak, B'Haftarus Ha'isa Geula HaRishoina, the first, as the Haftarah, right, the Proteus, Rak, the Proteus Ha'isa Geula HaRishoina Ikara Yedei Bechinas Yosef. The first Geula, Befrat, specifically, was with the Kayach of Yosef HaTzadik, which he preceded Moshe Rabbeinu, of course. Now, and Moshe. Rak, Shebechinas David and Mashiach Heya Behelim. But Mashiach, but we know that we said David and Mashiach was Heya Behelim. Then we said, why was it Behelim and hidden? Why was it hidden? Because we said that Yud Dalit. Right? When do you baidik the chametz? You baidik the chametz b'alel arba Yud Dalit. Right? Yud Dalit, we said, is 14. David HaMelech's gematria of his name is 14. Dalit Vav, right? 8 and 4, right? And 6 is 14. But the final redemption that we're waiting every moment for, that's sosum, it's concealed, it's closed and it's concealed. When? Until we get to see, Mitzvah Hashem, it'll be so soon. We'll see Mashiach Tzidkeinu, Mashiach ben David, and then that'll be the final Gula we're waiting for. Mimoshe v'Yosef mikol ha'shleisha avos mikol ha'tzadikim amitiyim. And this Mashiach ben David that we're waiting to see, his neshama will be inclusive of the neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu, Yosef, and all the tzadikim amitiyim that were till this point will lead us, that understood this kayach of the Rav, this kayach of where we have that place of Metzach HaRatzon, where we could tap into. And we should all take it to heart. It's so beautiful. Shabbos afternoon, speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Speak to him, anything on your mind. That's the most auspicious time. If you need trouble, we have trouble with anything, speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what's on your mind at that specific time. If we take that away from this class, it's wonderful. Right? Okay, now. V'zeh yekuyim. V'ad atik yoyma mitzah. V'yiskala ha'aras metzach ha'rotzan ba'aras nifla shaloi haya dayan. Now let's turn the page, please. Me'aylam. And it'll be revealed at that time something that the world never experienced, a truth of truths that the world never ever experienced. It'll be the final redemption, that there will not be a galus that'll proceed, that'll be after that one. We should be zeicha so soon to experience this. To be able to understand, to tap in to the idea of the Metzach HaRatzon, the place of Rav the Ravin, specifically on Shabbos, where the three tzaddikim, Moshe, Yosef, and David, they were understood it. How the Gula of Mitzrayim was via Moshe and Yosef, Aronei Shel Yosef, and how David HaMelech was hinted to in the whole idea of Pesach, because again, Arla Arba Asa, the 14 is David HaMelech, so Mitzvah Hashem, we should all take that to heart. Now, let's go to Chav Beis. Now, B'zeh Shal Matana, Golu v'yadua lifnecha, she'ritzayni l'asais ritzayincha, umi ma'akev sa'or shabisa. Here we're learning the Gemara in Brachos. It's on Yud Gimel Amid Aleph. The Gemara makes a statement, Goli v'yadua lefanecha. It's revealed and known in front of you. She'ritzayni. It's my ratzon. La'asais ritzayincha, to do your ratzon. It's my ratzon, Hashem, to do your ratzon. Umi ma'akev. So who's stopping me? Who's stopping me from doing the right thing? In other words, the Gemara is saying like this. The statement is like this. Hashem, you know that I want to do the right thing, and I know I'm supposed to do it, but who's stopping me? Sor Shabisa. It's the sword. It's the leaven in the bread, which is the yeast in the bread. That's the Yetzer Hara. It's hinting to the Yetzer Hara that's stopping me from doing what I really, really want to do. Ki ha-sa'or shabitza heipech ha-rotzon elyon, because the sa'or shabitza is the opposite of what the rotzon elyon is, or the rotzon of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. In other words, the Yetzer Hara tells us to do things against what we're supposed to be doing. And we can't mitigate it, we can't sweeten it, unless we're going to tap into this idea of Metzach HaRatzon, that we beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu at this time, Hashem, I need your help against the Yetzer Hara. I need your help, Hashem. Please, Hashem, help us. We need help. We're drowning. We need your help, Hashem. That's how we can get out. Hizir Admar Zal. Therefore, Rabbi Nachman, he gave us a tremendous warning. And what was the warning? Moed sheyizar adam lizgaber atzmai. Moed sheyilei tamid ritzaynos toivim v'kisufim chazakim l'Hashem yizbarach. In other words, you're supposed to have always good intentions. You're supposed to yearn, I want to serve you, Hashem. I want to do the right thing. Hashem, help me, guide me to do the right thing. I need to pine for that. I need to long for it. Now, what we actually accomplish is not really our business. In other words, we have to beg the Rebbeinu Shalom to help us. We have to beg the Rebbeinu Shalom to assist us to do the right thing.
It's the process and not the outcome.
Exactly. We have to just put our effort in. We have to desire. We have to desire to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If we do or not, that's up to the Rebbeinu Shalom. But again, the Rebbeinu Shalom wants of us that we should have the rutzon to serve Him. Pining, longing, a pining feeling, a yearning, a deep yearning. Because the main thing, this is so important, is the rutzon. It's not what we accomplish. You see, Yiddishkeit is so different than anything else in the world, right? If you're an accountant and you go to work and you can't file the tax returns right, you get fired, right? If you're a lawyer, you don't know how to go to court, you can't speak, right? You get fired, right? I want to be a good lawyer. I want to be good. You're a doctor and you give the wrong prescriptions, your patients die. I want to be a good doctor. It's tightness, it's useless. But Yiddishkeit's different. Yiddishkeit is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants our rotzen. He wants us to desire to serve Him. So you sit down with a Blat Gemara, and you try your best. You read the words. You work out the word. You see the best you can. And you sit there and you try to understand the Rashi. You try to understand the Taisus. You open the Marsha. You open the Ran. You open the Rif. You try your best. Whether you understand it or not, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the rotzen. I'm trying. We get paid whether or not, in Yiddishkeit, whether or not we accomplish. We just have to try. Rotzen. Rotzen. As the Rebbe spoke about this in unlimited places, countless places. He taught us that this. A person has to know, a person knows, everyone knows, Yedeya Inish Benafshe, right? Everybody knows who they are really inside. Everyone knows we all know our shortcomings. We don't have to, we're not hiding from them. We know them. Yedeya Inish Benafshe. But you have to understand this. So long as you don't give up on yourself, so long as you keep trying, so long as it doesn't matter if you stumble, it doesn't matter if you fell down, you try again, you start again. You have to have always an ischatshus. And you try again. I want Hashem to do it good. Even though I stumbled. I wanted to do this and I wound up doing that. I made a mistake. I don't understand why this happened. I don't care. I want to serve you, Hashem. I'm going to try again. See, the Yetzer Hara says like this. The Yetzer Hara leads us to believe that, you tried so hard. You tried to get up in the morning to go to Minyan. And it didn't work out today. So the Yetzer Hara said to you the next day, so, it didn't work out yesterday, so why are you were fine yesterday. So you didn't make it, so today stay home too. Right? He plays all kind of games with us. The greatest game was the example like this, where he goes to, there's two Bachrim in a base medrash. Two Bachrim. So one Bach in the beginning of this man decides, I'm going to learn Bekiyas. I want to see a few Masechtas this man, so I'm going to learn Bekiyas. Bekiyas is where you just go through the Gemara with the Rashi, basic, and you just keep moving on a fast pace. And there's another Bach that says, I want to do Ian. I want to understand all the Mefarshim. I really want to understand this sugya. I want to take the sugya apart. I really want to understand the sugya. So after a month's time, so the first Bach that was doing Bekiyas, he finished learning 50 different, he did 50 blot. Amazing. 50 blot. He went through 50 blot. And the other guy did one blot. He learned one blot. Oh, but he learned that blot good. He learned that blot really good. So the Yetzer Hara comes to these two guys. And he goes to this guy with the 50 blot, the 50 blot guy. And he says to him, you did 50 blot, what do you know? What do you know? What do you know? Look at this guy over there. Look at this guy over there. Look how he knows his blot of Gemara. Wow, he understands it. And then he goes to the other guy that understands his blot Gemara and he says, look at you. A whole month you did one page? Look at this guy, he did 50. He did 50 blot. You did one page? You should be ashamed of yourself. But both of them are doing wonderful things. There's a beautiful Avodas Hashem in learning Bekiyas and learning Be'in. They're not doing, either one of them was doing beautiful things. They were not doing anything wrong. But the Yetzer Hara comes to misconstrue it. That you're doing this and will use one against the other. Instead of finding the goodness in them, to say, look how beautiful it is, you accomplished this, and you accomplished this. No, look what you could have accomplished, look what you could have accomplished. So again, we're learning over here now, it's the Ratzon. All we need to do is have the Ratzon. You make the agreement, you make an agreement with yourself, I'm going to do this now, I'm going to accomplish this, I'm going to accomplish that. And you work on it. You try your best. Now, if something comes up, you can't do it, don't be upset. Just do it, try again. You have to constantly try again. And when we do that, in other words, when we take these teachings seriously, right? And we're thinking one day, it's a hard day today. I want to be Mavisedra, but I have a little headache, this and that, whatever it is. And you misgabi, you say, I want to do the right thing, and you sit down, you read a few psukim, you look at the targum, you do what you're supposed to do. It's a tremendous thing. You're giving kayach to the tzaddikim that they can help us more. By us doing something, we give kayach to tzaddikim to power them to do more. Because their teachings are working on us, so we give them more power. Rav says, please understand this really well. Understand this concept over here, that no matter what it is, we have to keep trying, we have to keep working and plugging away. And if it doesn't work out, start again. You fall down, brush yourself off, and start again. We know that the klal is that there's no yerida. There are no real yeridas. All yeridas are there l'tzayrich the aliyas, right? We know is anytime a person has he stumbles, which is a yerida, right? So what's the yerida there? Why does he stumble? Because he's going to get back up and have an aliyah because he stumbled. The same way I like to say is like this: if a person wants to jump high, so what you do is you crouch down with your knees, and then you can spring up higher. If you're standing up high, how high can you jump? Right? Is that true? Everyone agree with that? If you wanted to jump, right? You wouldn't stand up straight, high, and jump. You'd go lower down, and you'd spring up. Right? Is that true?
Right. I don't jump anymore. I'm sorry. I don't remember.
Go backwards and start running from back.
I don't remember jumping.
Right, you get a little more inertia, right? You get a little more inertia to push the person, right? It's the same idea, yeah. So no, but we have to really take this. Really, it's an unbelievable idea, and really today, people are so depressed today. There's so much depression. It's terrible. You talk to people, it's unbelievable how many people are on different medications because they're depressed. Why are so many people depressed today? Life is seemingly easier than it ever was. We have all modern conveniences with communication. We have transportation, right? We have different foods and different things that we never had before. Man, why should we be so depressed today?
Too many choices.
Too many choices. Good. Yeah. So perhaps it's like this. We have too many. We have many choices when it comes to Talmud Torah also. Right? There's many different things to learn, right? One person will say, I'm going to learn halacha. The other guy's going to say, well, I love learning Tanakh. I'm going to learn Tanakh. The other guy says, I love to learn Musar. This guy loves to learn Chassid. This guy loves to learn Gemara. He loves to learn whatever, Kabbalah, whatever it is. There's so many different things, choices for us to learn in Torah today too. It's amazing. It's mamish amazing. But the Yetzer Hara attacks us today better than ever before because he knows that Mashiach Tzidkenu, like we're learning, is mamish on his way. He's almost here. And he wants people to be, he doesn't want to give kayach to the tzaddikim like we're learning. We're learning when we do the right thing, we give more kayach to the tzaddikim. We give the kayach to Mashiach to be able to reveal himself. So he wants so much to push us down that we should be depressed, that we shouldn't have the motivation to want to learn, that we shouldn't have the ratzon to serve Hashem. I'm depressed. What am I going to do? But why is a person depressed? Because a person says like this: I know in the morning I'm supposed to go daven, but I didn't go daven today. I was supposed to go daven. He knows that. So underlying inside of him, he has the Yetzer Tov that's eking at him. Why didn't you go? You know better than that. You know you're supposed to go daven. You know you're supposed to learn today. Why didn't you do it? So the Yetzer Hara is eking at him. That's his depression. The Yetzer Tov is eking at him. That's the depression. In other words, because the Yetzer Tov is not satisfied that he's not serving that Kadosh Baruch Hu. He's choosing all these other things, but he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So what does he do? He takes medication to put down the feeling of the Yetzer Tov that's trying to get him to do the right thing. It's fascinating. But really, a Yid that says he makes his mind and he takes this seriously, I'm going to want to serve Hashem. I want to do the right thing. I want to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is the reason we're in this world. We have to get close to the Rebbe Shalom. If he takes that seriously and he says, I'm going to do that, watch. His depression will start to go away. He won't need all those medications. It won't lead him to all the sickness. He'll be much better off. This is what it is. The secrets are all right here. If we just take these things to heart, we do the right thing, want to serve Hashem. I need to want to serve Hashem. Whether or not I do or not, but if as long as I want to, I'm on the right path. Now, let's go weiter. V'zeh ba'atzmai ma she'osa katana l'daber l'fnei Hashem yisbarach goli v'yadua she'ritzayni. That's what the Tana said. Goli v'yadua she'ritzayni. It's known to you, Hashem, my Ratzon. My Ratzon is known to you. Ki al yedei zeh ba'atzmai she'toin zois l'fnei Hashem. That the fact that he's bringing this in front of Hashem. In other words, he's using this argument to with Hashem. Hashem, you know that I want to do the right thing. You know it, Hashem. That brings that he wants to do more things. Because if I know that Hashem knows what my ratzon is, if I know that Hashem knows what I want, so then, and I really worked it out in my mind, that I know that Hashem knows what I want. And I want to be closer to Hashem, so I want more to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then the hara of the Ratzon will be illuminated upon him. And that'll put out the Yetzer Hara that's there, which is the Sar Shabisa, to put out the Yetzer Hara that doesn't allow him to do the Ratzon Hashem. And that is the speak when we talk between us and our Creator, speaking to our Creator. I know it sounds like a foreign concept. What do you mean talk to Hashem? Yeah, we talk to our Kadosh Baruch Hu. We talk to our Kadosh Baruch Hu in our own words. Hashem, I have trouble with this. Hashem, I have trouble with that. Hashem, I need an eitzah for this. I need to speak to Hashem. We speak to Hashem. People don't understand they could do that. Maybe I can't send a text message. Can I send an email? Can I maybe a fax?
You can send an email to the hotel today.
Okay. No, but we can do even better than that. No, but we can do better than that. We can do better than that though. We could just speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you're taking a walk in the street, talk to Hashem. Talk to Hashem. I was thinking today, today everyone walks around with a Bluetooth, that little thing in the ear, right? No, people do, right? People do, right? No. It's such a beautiful thing. You know why? Because if you're going to walk around, you're going to talk to Hashem, and you don't have a Bluetooth on, and you see people see you just talking to yourself in the street, they'll think you're crazy. But today, the technology made it that you can stand talking to yourself, and people think you're talking on the phone. It's no problem anymore. Is it true? Well, if you see a person talking, he's sitting in his car and he's talking, right? He's talking on the car. So you think he has a Bluetooth in the car, and he's talking to someone, someone's responding, right? But really, he could be talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. No one knows. No, it's so beautiful today. It used to be, 100 years ago, a person would be talking, and they would think the guy's crazy. They put him in the loony bin, right? But today, we could do it. We could talk to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Now, Shehiza Ad Mazal, yes, Rabbi Nachman warned us so much so. Miyoid Beli Shir. He never let go of this idea. Because every time you talk to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you embed it in yourself that Hashem knows what I'm talking about. Hashem knows what I want. And therefore I'm going to want to do better. I'm going to always want to do better. Because how could you know Hashem if you don't speak to Hashem? Right? And therefore you can get upon yourself that pidyon elyon. We spoke about what the pidyon elyon is, right? What's a pidyon? A pidyon is your paida. You're redeemed. You get redeemed from Shemayim. The pidyon elyon. A way we can understand it is this. In other words, I was always attached to the other side. All these years, I was living by the little rules of the Yetzer Hara. But today, Today, I'm working on speaking to Hashem, and I can get a pidyon elyon. The Shemayim will redeem me from all of that nonsense that I was involved in. We have to be very, very strong on this concept. Very strong. Believe Shir Erech. Without any measure. We just have to keep working at it. Vos Saif Kol Saif. And then, at the end, Yiske Bevadei Shia Nimtuk HaKola Yidei Koyach HaTzadik Shoisek Bepidyon HaKoilo. And then again, like we said, when we do the right thing, and we speak to the Rebbeinu, because the tzaddikim are telling us to do that, and we give koyach to the tzaddikim that they can do more. We help the tzaddikim help us. In other words, we help the tzaddikim help us. The tzaddikim are there to help us, to bring us to Geula. When we do the right thing and we know that we're doing the Ratzon Hashem, we give the koyach to the tzaddikim to be able to help us further, Mitzvah Hashem. And then everything will be transformed to good. Kisham nistakin hakol, because in that place of the Metzach HaRatzon, which is Rava de Rava, which is Shabbos, which is where the pidyon elyon takes place, everything can be repaired. Everything can be fixed at that specific place. Now, so let's review. So it's very important constantly to have the right Ratzon for Hashem, the Ratzon Hashem. Again, it's not necessarily what we accomplish, but it's just the Ratzon, the fact that we have Ratzon Hashem, the fact that I want to serve Hashem, which is that not so beautiful? Is that not so beautiful that we could just want to serve Hashem? And again, we have to do something too. Just wanting and not doing something is useless. But we have to want and we have to try to do something, and we accomplish. Batuchal, we accomplish. It's amazing.
Every day,
yes?
we breathe, every moment, we breathe for a reason. Because Hashem gives us the opportunity or the strength to make the breath.
Yes.
So in a sense, our existence is continually renewed.
Absolutely.
Now, if our existence is continually renewed every minute, what was in the past is gone. Because we only renew from now and henceforth. So if a person has a negative thought, fine and dandy, that was the past.
Now,
every moment we can always leave that behind for something else, and leave it behind for good.
Exactly. No, that's wonderful, right? Because we know that there's haya, hayve, v'yiyah. There's haya, what was, hayve, what will be, and now we have past, present, and future, right? So whatever the past was the past. It's history. I can't change it. It's done. But what I can do is I have now the present. At this moment, what I have now, at this moment, which in another moment, this present moment will be history. So how do I make this moment to be a positive history? By doing the Ratzon Hashem at this moment.
And therefore,
by doing the right thing.
And therefore, under normal circumstances, a person could leave this depression or whatever negative feelings he has alone, or say goodbye to them and work on the present good.
Yes.
Doesn't have to carry the past.
He doesn't have to carry it. Exactly. Excellent, Yaakov. Well said. So let's go weiter to the next thing. We're going to see a new concept now. So we'll have some siyata d'shmaya to understand it. Okay. Now, Chav Gimel. Bekavonis Pesach. In Shara Kavonis through Shia Pesach, Larish Pietz Chaim. Okay. Shar Chag Hamatzah is Perek Dalet. Okay. Reb Nassan's giving us a preview of the Sfarim of the Holy Eitz Chaim. Shaz Nichnas Haaretz Leah Berachel. Shaz Nichnas Haaretz Leah Berachel. Leah, the Hara of Leah, was entered with Rachel. Zeh Said Bia Chametz Shu Belel Arba Osar. That's which is the side of the eradication, the Bia Chametz, which is on the 14th. Osar Shu Said Ashlamusa the Sahara. Mila Yalavana. See, as it translated on the bottom, the full moon. Behu bir chametz, and that's the bir chametz. We'll explain. So don't worry, just stay tuned. These are the words of the Eitz Chaim, so it's a little tough. Rav Nassan will just we'll explain to us, okay? L'chein kol kavanas lel Pesach hu beracha v'lei b'leia. Therefore, the whole night of Pesach, the night of Pesach is with Rachel and not with Leah. This tikkun, like we do in tikkun chatzos, right? This tikkun Leah and tikkun Rachel, right? Ki Rachel bechinas Mashiach ben Yosef sheyatza mimena. Look at that, nice, right? Easy to understand that, right? Rachel Imenu is connected to Mashiach ben Yosef because Yosef came from Rachel Imenu. V'leia bechinas Mashiach ben David sheyatza miYehuda shenoiled miLeia. This week's parsha, the story with Yehuda and Tamar, right? He had this children, the parrots and Zarek, right? This week's parsha. B'chol bechinas Pesach shu Yitzias Mitzrayim Gula Rishayna Ikara Yedei bechinas Yosef, and we learned before. He's just reviewing it, that the whole Yitzias Mitzrayim was via Yosef Atzadik, because again the Vayam Ra Vayanas, it saw the Aaron Shal Yosef. Shumi Zera Rachel, and that's coming from the seed of Rachel Imenu. Rachel Imenu comes Yosef Atzadik. V'zeh bechinas Vayikach Moshe es atzmos Yosef imay. Moshe Rabbeinu took the bones of Yosef with him. Ava bechinas aris Mashiach ben David iyefshel legales ata b'shleimus kedayin leiba'aketz. But again, the end Mashiach ben David. So we know Mashiach ben Yosef Atzadik was taken out with us in Mitzrayim. But Mashiach ben David, we don't know yet. We don't know that yet. Adarabah tzrichin lahastir lehalem haris Leah shemisham achizas hadinim. We have to conceal Leah, because Leah we know is from the side of Din. Rachel is from the side of Chesed. Leah is from the side of Din. That's why even, let's say on Shabbos, if you say Tikkun Chatzos, you don't say Tikkun Leah, you say only Tikkun Rachel. You can't say that on Shabbos or Yom Tov. Did you know that? If you want to say Tikkun Chatzos, you can't say Tikkun Leah, because that's Din. There's no Din on Shabbos or on Yom Tov. But you could say Tikkun Rachel, because that's from the side of Chesed. I'm just showing you how practically it fits into the, okay. Because the din is connected mostly to Leah Imenu. Leah. We know that Leah Imenu was crying because she was supposed to be together with Asa, and that's why Leah's eyes were rakas. They were weak because she was always crying about it. So he says right here, the eyes of Leah were weak. But all of this is dependent on all agula. But we have to still, okay, but look. Rachel Imenu is Mashiach ben Yosef. We know that Mashiach ben Yosef comes before Mashiach ben David, right? Right? You know the way it works, right? You know, so we all know that, right? First it's Mashiach ben Yosef, and then Mashiach ben David will come. Correct, right? Leia Imenu, the din will not be mamtik. The din won't be mamtik. We're learning about the courthouses. Din, the 24 courthouses, the judgment in the 24 courthouses, and then the higher courthouse, which can mitigate all the lower courthouse judgments. Aval ata sheim is gala b'shleimus b'chinas David b'chinas Mashiach ben David. But now that Mashiach ben David is not revealed, we don't know yet Mashiach ben David. Al ken hayatakev hanes nela ma'aris Leah v'nichna barachel. So therefore, the din, the Leah was nichla, was included in Rachel at that time, because we started off by saying she'oz nichnas aris Leah b'Rachel. The aura of Leah was found, was hinted to within Rachel. Because again, Leah was never revealed yet because Mashiach ben David didn't arrive yet. When Mashiach ben David will arrive, it'll be fine. But we know that David HaMelech was still connected to Yitzias Mitzrayim. Like we said, the 14 is David. We know that he was connected to Mashiach, but it was connected in a hidden way. Shoras Mashiach ben David Meir behelam bechinas Mashiach ben Yosef sheyatza mirachel. Vayidei zeh haya ikar agula shel Pesach, and that's how the Gula Pesach happened Na'idei Bechinas Yosef Sheyotza Meirachel, because Yosef HaTzadik came from the Rechem of Rachel Imenu. Malkein Kol Kavanis Belel Pesach Hu Bechinas Rachel. Therefore, the Kavanis, all the ideas and the teachings are based on the of Rachel Imenu. Aval Afal Pichein Meir Sham Behelam Bechinas Leah Shu Bechinas David. But we're hinting to David HaMelech, we're hinting to Leah in the Seder. We talk about David and we speak about the Leah, we speak about these things because it's hinting to it. Hainu Kamesha Kasamnu Belel Sheikah Kol HaGeulais Afilu Shal Pesach Hakol Nimshach Mehares HaKetza Achroim Bechinas Mashiach Ben David. Even Leil Pesach. In other words, we know that we learn out all the Geulas come from Mitzrayim, right? We learn the same way Hashem did the miracles in Mitzrayim, they're in the fly, so too we're going to see amazing miracles that the world's never seen when the arrival of Mashiach Tzidkenu comes. So now we see that the same way that we learn the final Geula comes from Mitzrayim, the final Mitzrayim was actually drawing from the final Geula. In other words, right?
What does that mean? It's drawing from the final Geula.
David HaMelech was Behelim. It was there, but he was hidden. He was not revealed. So in other words, this idea of the final redemption was drawn upon when we left Mitzrayim. We tapped into that. The same way we said that on Shabbos we can tap into the Metzach HaRatzon, that we can mitigate different things. So too, when we left Mitzrayim, we had to tap into something which was the Gula Achroina, the final Gula, to get the Gula Rishona going. Rachel and Leah were connected. Vayadei bechinas Moshe v'Yosef bechinas vayigach Moshe as atzmas Yosef imay vaya Moshe Rabbeinu taking the atzmas Yosef with him. So now what we're going to do is we're going to finish up Chav Dalet for today, and then we're going to start Kriya Shema next week. Okay? Now let's go. Chav Dalet. Baruch Hashem. Val kein kishenoyled Yehuda mimenu yotza Mashiach ben David. Amra Leah. What happened when Yehuda was born? What did Leah Meinu say when Yehuda was born? Hapam oide es Hashem. Wow, look at this. Hapam oide Hashem al kem kara Shema Yehuda. Therefore she called his name Yehuda. Why? Al Shem Toida, through thanks, through the name of thanks. V'haida, giving thanks to Hashem. The main thing is we have to give thanks to HaKadosh Baruch for what we have. In other words, that means everything we have in our lives, we thank the Rebbeinu Shalom for what we have, and not do like the generation does, we complain what we don't have. Thank the Rebbeinu Shalom for what we have. All the beautiful brachos we have in our lives. Thank Hashem for what we have. Haidah, give Haidah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shu Sayit Shvuas, Sha'oz Nizgala Bechinas Ravid the Ravid. Because on the Yom Tov of Shvuas, the Yom Tov of Shvuas of Kabbalah Satayra, Ravid the Ravid was given to us. Hashem taught us about this beautiful idea of Ravid the Ravid. B'shleimus, Ad She'achometz, Taikenis Hapech L'Tayva Oile L'Karban. Until, when it came to Shvuas, we specifically brought the carbon of Shvuas to Shtei Alechem from Chometz specifically. Because the Sa'ar, Shebe'isa, the Yetzer was eradicated from it. It was just beautiful, fluffy bread without the Sa'ar from the Isa. Because why? I love the carbon. Because it took from the Metzach HaRatzon. We were able to tap into that. The same way we were able to leave Mitzrayim because of the Metzach HaRatzon. The same way we on Shavuos we were able to bring the Shtei Alechem from tapping into the Metzach HaRatzon, tapping into that place to put out the Sar Shabisa that lets us eat the bread properly to understand it's all Me'etz Hashem. And that's how the Gula Achreina will come through this. So to recap the whole idea. So we go through different situations in our life. And this is all in Birchos Ha'shachar. Why is it in Birchos Ha'shachar? Because every morning we have to remember these things. Every morning. We have to remember that it doesn't matter what yesterday was. Today is a brand new day. Today I'm going to do the right thing. Hashem, help me today to do the right thing. Help me, Hashem, to make the right decisions. Help me to go to the right places, to meet the right people, to say the right things, to learn the right things, and so on. And every day we could do that. And just to remember, to have the right kisufim, to yearn for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that to help us in our ways. By doing that, we tap in to the Rav and the Ravin, to the Metzach HaRatzon. We can help mitigate the judgments in our lives. By doing this, by speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's all we need to do. Remember to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We learned that the most auspicious time to speak to Hashem is Shabbos by Mincha, which is Rav and the Ravin. And with that, we'll end this week and have a wonderful Shabbos. Okay.
This is a little token appreciation from the
Wow.
fellows for Hanukkah.
Well, thank you.
I wasn't involved in the thing, but they made me a shliach to give it to you.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you. Well, thank you very much. It wasn't necessary.
A little token.
I should give you guys a present for coming to learn.
It's the least we can
Gave us a present. He gave us off the streets.
Oh.
Speaking for myself, not for the others.
What's the how do you explain Metzach HaRatzon? What's the
It's a kabbalistic term. Okay, it's connected to well, Metzach means like the forehead. A Metzach, like in Hebrew, modern Hebrew, is Metzach. Ratzon, we understand what Ratzon is, the desire. Rav the Ravin, that time of Shalosh Shudas, is a time of endearment. If you look at this Zmiris of Shalosh Shudas, you ever see them? Right? Right? We talk about Rav the Ravin. It's a special time on Shabbos of that time of endearment. Why? What? The Siftach the Bible. Yeah. No. It's actually in the whatever. Okay. So Rav the Rav. So Metzach HaRatzon is the opposite of that we said of the Metzach HaNachash. There's Metzach HaNachash, bad side, and there's Metzach HaRatzon. The two on the opposite extremes. When you get to the Metzach HaRatzon, again, it's a Kabbalistic term. In Shemayim, we know the Kabbalah teaches us that there are Chaf Dalet Batei Dinim. There are 24 courthouses, and in each courthouse judges different kind of cases, different things. And we may be involved in many of those cases that they bring up against upon us. So we're learning now that when we can tap into the Metzach HaRatzon, which is the highest place, which transcends all the lower courthouses, and we can get mitigation from the highest courthouse, so then we can absolve ourselves from the judgments of the lower courthouses.
So you're saying the Metzach HaRatzon is really the highest favor that a person can get.
Yes.
Of course, Metzach is to say a high point.
Yes.
From Hashem, it's a time of favorability for decisions.
Decisions in Shemayim.
In Shemayim.
Right, but we have we get an audience at that time to be at that place to speak to the judge of that time, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the time of Metzach HaRatzon, at the time. The same way we say by Mincha and Shabbos, right? What do we say? Anis filasi l'cha Hashem eis ratzon, right? We say eis ratzon, and we say that by Mincha. We don't say that any other time, do we? Before we take out the Torah on Shabbos, right? Ashkenaz, Sfar, doesn't matter. Anis filasi l'cha Hashem eis ratzon. Elikim roiv chaz l'cha neini be'emes yishecha. You're hinting to it in the words in the Tefillah. Right? Is it not true? Manis filasi l'cha Hashem eis ratzon, Metzach HaRatzon, eis ratzon. Aneini be'emes yishecha. Hashem, answer me. So we're the Tefillah is teaching us that we have to beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu for salvation at that time. You know, there's the Birch Shemei that we say it's a little piece of the Zayar. I don't know, does everyone say that? You try to, right? The word's a little bit complicated, right?